What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrared. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of Trickster, Edogawa Ranpo's Boys Detectives Club. That's a tongue twister, so I'm just gonna stick with Twister for this series. And I can tell you guys that this was one of the series that was on the bottom of like my watch list. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna cover it. I already said that I was gonna give it the 3-episode rule, so you can definitely look out for that. It's kind of shades of Taboo Tattoo, where it's like I was really interested in it, but I feel like once I get to watching it, it's gonna let me down. But I don't know. I watched this episode and it was good. It was good. It was definitely a nice introduction episode, a nice opening episode. And it's also already set to have 24 episodes, which is rare now because you usually just get 12. So if something already has 24 episodes, it seems like they already have a clear intent as far as finishing the work that is based off of, or at the very least they have a plan of where it's going. So some background about this series before we get started. If the name Edogawa Ranpo sounds familiar to you, it should. One, because he is a well-known past author from Japan. He's also has a character based off of Bungo Stray Dogs, which all of the characters are based off of somebody from literature. Ranpo was a detective character from there, and that's fitting because Ranpo is an author who writes detective novels. One of his favorite works of literature was Sherlock Holmes, and his books, to my knowledge and what I looked up about him, is usually has detective work in it with a little bit of a horror spin. They also had another series based off him last year. I think it was called Game of Laplace. It wasn't really that good. I only watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it. But anyway, this series in itself is based off of 2 of his works. A book called The Fiend of 20 Faces, as well as the Boy Detectives Club. So that's what we're getting here with Trickster. And again, I'm very interested after this first episode because first and foremost, let's talk about that captivating first scene with, first we got a character by the name of Yoshino who wants to die. I mean, he's indestructible as he just straight up takes a nasty plunge off a building at the beginning of the episode. That didn't kill him. He tried to stab himself in the throat. It broke on him, so his body's indestructible. And while that's going on, we also have like a girl is about to get like raped, and we see this kid by the name of Hanazaki come in. He got like the classic yellow Bruce Lee jumpsuit on. He comes in, take these guys down with hand to hand, and you know I love martial artists, so he's already gonna be a best boy for me. He takes out these fiends, and that's how our episode gets started, by showing these 2 characters who are going to be connected by fate. This series is definitely giving me a Bungo Stray Dogs type of feel with this character that's trying to kill himself but can't. It reminds me very much of Dazai from Bungo Stray Dogs. And the opening for this series, you know, for the fall, I mean, I haven't watched everything yet. I've watched everything that I've been interested in, but I still haven't been grabbed by an opening in the fall season yet. I know we still got some legs to go because everything comes on this week. So we'll just have to see where we're going from there. But right now, I haven't really seen an episode that wowed me. I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't anything that I wanted to rewind instantly like we got for the past few seasons so far. But the music in this series itself, however, is very good. I mean, I really enjoyed the music that this series had. It went from being soft and had like some smooth jazz, it going to pulse pounding to the Final Fantasy type of music. Definitely a nice piece of music. If this is what we have to look forward to in this series, then I'm definitely strapped in. Another thing that I am very captivated by is the antagonist in this series called the Fiend of 20 Faces, who is very elusive. He seems to have something going on with staging these explosions and these attacks in the city with these robots and being ever elusive by one of the senior detectives by the name, I think his name was Adechi or Atachi or something. I forgot his name. I'll learn it. But he seems to be a very captivating character. It seems like he's going to be one of those characters that probably isn't wrong. So we'll just have to dive in and see what goes on with that. But as far as this club or these group of people that we have themselves, you have the usual tropes. I mean, again, we have Hanazaki, who is the athlete. He's a fighter. He's probably the optimist of the team. We have like the older person, the senior, the person that's chasing after the Fiend of 20 Faces. He's kind of like the laid back, pervert, wannabe ladies man type of character. So you got that. You got a hacker. You got a strategist who's probably the straight-laced person. And this is all the things that we're seeing from this episode. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come together as they not only fight crime, but also take odd jobs, as Hanazaki was actually out looking to find a lost pet for someone. But this series is definitely going to bring the dark, especially when it comes to Yoshino and the brutal ways that he tried to kill himself. I mean, he tried to jump off a building in this episode twice. He tried to slit his throat. He put a shotgun in his mouth and shot it, and he still couldn't kill himself. So that's a little bit of that darkness that Ranpo is known for. And we're going to definitely see it in this series with this seemingly indestructible character who has a death wish, but also he seems to have some type of power. I believe it looked like his wind power, as he was somewhere trembling, crying out of fear. And it was like a little dog that Hanazaki was trying to catch, and the dog came near him. And he just obliterated the dog with some wind power. Animals and anime just doesn't mix well. But anyway, Hanazaki himself, I'm really liking this character. He seems like he is going to be the light to Yoshino's dark. And when they had that chase scene, that smooth jazz music was oh so beautiful. It was so nice as he was trying to track him down and find out who he is and what he's about. But also, I have to commend the animation in this series as well. The animation was beautiful. I mean, it was absolutely eye-catching and beautiful, and this is done by a studio by the name of Shin-A Entertainment. I mean, I don't know too much of their work, but I do know this is the same studio that did fucking Crayon Shin-Chan. We know that looks like utter garbage. And they did Sweetness and Lightning, whatever that was called last season. They did that as well. So if this is what they had in their pocket, I'm interested in seeing what else they did that I may have missed, to see if everything else can stand up to the animation that this series had. But again, as noted, clearly Hanazaki is going to be the light to Yoshino's dark, as he's probably going to be the person that gives him something to want to live for, versus him dying. And also he said that, you know what, if you join this club, I'll promise you that I will give you a way to die. So that's going to be pretty interesting, but you know, I don't believe it. I think he's going to end up showing him that life is worth living for. And there was also a little bit of symbolism there, as this kid Yoshino went through like a burning and exploding building and came out unscratched, but he did get like a scratch on his hand, and Hanazaki said to him, like, if you could feel that, that means you're alive. We get a little brief scene after the credits, or during the credits, because they didn't have an ED, but they did have like the credits rolling, showing him saying that the mark on his hand tingled a little bit. So maybe, you know, it might be mental with him. We don't know. We'll just have to see. So that was the episode in a nutshell. Again, it was an impressive outing. I'm definitely going to give it 3 episodes to see where it's going. And again, with a 24 episode commitment, it might not fall off until halfway. We'll just have to see. I'm going to stay with it as long as I can. And hey, if it passes to 3, we're going to keep going with it. I promise that, or at least I can hope that this won't end up being another Taboo Tattoo where I just tap out on it. At the very least, looks like something that's going to hold my attention the entire time. And maybe I'm giving Taboo Tattoo a bad rep. I need to go back and watch it and see what happened from there. But anyway, that's getting off topic. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Definitely let me know what you thought of this series in the comments. Are you going to stick with it? Or are you going to give it a 3 episode rule? Do you know about it already and you're excited for it? If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And speaking of subscriptions, if you haven't seen my video over the weekend, I just hit 800 subs, so I am doing a Q&A, so we still got a little bit of time. I'm going to be doing that Wednesday night after I put up my review for Bungo Stray Dogs. So if you have a question for your boy Infrared, go ahead and drop it in the comments and I will answer it at that point. So on that note, I also always say you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Infrared signing out. See you soon.